Let's first talk about some trends that are shaping product development departments and organizations today. And this is just a subset of many that they face. There's the whole idea of sustainability and eco-friendly design, whether it be the materials that are being used, whether it be the principles being designed for longer life and easier recycling and those types of things. Once again, just another added piece of complexity that's added to our product development efforts. And then there's artificial intelligence and machine learning. This is to do things like, as we embark and decide what to work on, predicting market trends, personalizing our customer experiences and automating the things that we do in order to optimize performance. And we'll talk today about AI, and there's AI design tools specifically that consist in creating more innovative and efficient product designs that are out there. And then we're trying to get faster and more responsive. So things like rapid prototyping and more agile development is a trend for many organizations. Adopting these agile methodologies and rapid prototyping, including things like 3D printing and digital twins, gives us more quicker iterations and a more flexible development process. The idea here is to reduce our time to market because we are more compressed on the things that are expected. And always there's the regulatory and ethical considerations. We have to comply with regulations and navigate complex regulatory requirements. And we have products that need to be accessible to people with disabilities, and we have to better ensure privacy and data security as we get more technology involved. And just the ethical implications of AI and how we use that. And then there's the demand on the customer side for more personalization and customization. And there's a trend towards, more personalized or customizable products that can meet the needs of individual consumer preferences. We see this in a lot of specific industries, and customizable options are becoming more common, meaning more options, meaning more complexity in our efforts. And then collaborative development platforms. We need to, in this day and age of people more working remotely or geographically dispersed global teams, for example, across different locations, having platforms that allow us to collaborate and do our product development effectively in that mode is important. And tools that integrate the aspects of product development all the way from ideation all the way through to production. The idea is to streamline our processes and improve efficiencies, and those are challenges and trends that we face today. And then a lot of our products are more connected today, and the rollout of 5G technology and the development of more connected devices, we can now leverage faster data speeds, which makes more things possible, even especially in areas like augmented reality and virtual reality, some of which can be used in product development. So in tandem with this, there's challenges that are faced by product development, and some of the trends, raise their challenges in and of themselves. But rapid technological changes, the speed of change keeps advancing. The change keeps coming faster, and the pace of technological advancement requires us to continuously innovate and adapt. We have to be agile and adaptive. Keeping up with emerging technologies, can be challenging. Then there's market uncertainty. Trying to understand and better predict market trends and consumer preferences is a hard thing to do. And these are changing rapidly, and the market windows are shorter than they've ever been before. And we have to be producing what's in demand and what's relevant in the marketplace at any given point in time. And compound that with shorter product life cycles, meaning what we develop probably has a window that's much shorter than it used to be in the past. And products are becoming more obsolete more quickly. And so, this is driven by the fast pace of innovation and the fast changing of the market dynamics. This requires faster development cycles and continuous updates to the products that we have. Global competition is something that's important, meaning we're facing competition on more fronts, meaning we have to be even more on top of our game with innovation and strategic marketing to differentiate ourselves. And then this is a resource-constrained market. Finding the right resources at the right time and the skilled personnel can hinder the development process. And efficient resource allocation and management of those resources on the right things is paramount of importance to us. And then there's integration with the existing systems. As we do new things, do we have to dovetail with things that already exist and technologies that we've already used or developed? And just the merging of these things can be complex in and of themselves and add complexity to any given product development effort to ensure that we have compatibility and smooth operation once we do it. And given things like the pandemic and the economic conditions out there, global supply chains are vulnerable to disruptions. And managing this is a risk and a continuous challenge to monitor and make sure that we work with. Data management and analytics. We have more data than ever to analyze and help us do things like predict trends and figure out where we are or where we should go. And ensuring data privacy and quality and deriving actionable insights are critical in this task. And how do we harness all this data that may be coming at us from many different directions? And then cross-functional collaboration, because effective product development requires synchronization across all the functions, not only just aligning with the strategies of the organization, make sure we're going all in the same direction, but the various functions, including engineering and design and marketing and sales, and bringing these things to market and collaborating on a timely basis and in a coordinated fashion so that we get the outcomes we want for, becomes more and more challenging in this complex day and age. So addressing these challenges involves being adaptive in our strategies, investing in continuous learning and development, and leveraging advanced technologies and fostering a culture of innovation and collaboration rather than siloed operations. So if we look at the common components of product development projects, there's the market research and analysis we talk about to identify the need and do competitive analysis and get feedback from our customers or potential customers. There's the whole concept development, the idea generation, feasibility, and the concept testing and those types of things. The planning and design, the product specifications, designing and prototyping, project planning of going through this entire initiative and effort. Then there's the development, the engineering and technical, the software and hardware, the iteration and testing of all that. The testing and validation, whether it be general QA, user testing, and even compliance testing to make sure we're meeting our compliance requirements. And manufacturing and production, we have to plan for the production of what we're developing. We have to get the right parts and components in the supply chain, and then pilot production to make sure that once we turn the switch, that we can produce these things in the volumes that we need to. And then the marketing and launch, we have to coordinate this with a whole marketing strategy to bring this to the market, and a sales strategy and how we're going to get this in the hands of the customers, and how we're just going to launch this overall in coordination with product development and manufacturing. And then obviously there's the post-launch and review support that has to happen to make sure that we continuously improve and make the modifications that the market and the customers are demanding. So once again, this is not all comprehensive, but these are common components that we find. And the idea is that we have to get this all going together in order to succeed. Now, observations in product development is that product managers owning specific products tend to focus solely on their specific initiative without regard to integrations across products. And this was found in a study and a paper done by the Gartner Group in optimizing outcomes of program management across product lines. And the whole idea of agile, when we talk about ideally having dedicated agile teams for a particular product, we find that that's not necessarily a reality in most organizations, as they're still utilizing and sharing resources across teams. So it's not that simple, even though that's more the ideal concept. And so the recommendations that we must provide more adaptive program management practices so that we can define a shared vision across the organization, across all product lines and products, of realizing the strategic objectives of the organization and aligning ourselves with that, and improve coordination and engagement across our products so that we identify and mitigate or prevent collisions across the roadmaps or things that might hinder any one of them across the board. And then just the effective orchestration across product delivery by collaborating with product managers or teams to proactively address these things, or things such as resource contention, especially if we're sharing resources still and don't have dedicated teams. Now, the other piece is this agile approach is really about a product orientation to be more responsive. Instead of having these big monolithic long duration projects, now that we have shorter market windows, is we need to break work into smaller pieces and easier to manage and deliver so we can get value sooner, get them out into the marketplace, and then evolve and modify those things once we get that initial offering out there. And organization and performance management must also transform if we're going to change into an agile approach rather than the old waterfall approaches that we used to do. So the model that we're looking to do is, instead of the more traditional waterfall plans where we have a big bang at the end, it's to break these into smaller blocks or chunks, and then really have continuous product roadmaps to get that first version of a product out there, and then continuously develop against this into releases or versions that we can manage and monitor, get that out in the marketplace and deliver value more incrementally, and sooner so that we can beat our competition to the marketplace. And ideally, instead of more of a project structure, it's really defining a product structure where we have product lines or product families and then the individual products within them that we manage according to that. The key would be to deliver this value sooner, deliver that minimum viable product or MVP early on, right? Rather than wait for a long duration development effort, deliver something and find that the market window has passed us by or the market dynamics have changed significantly to where we're not actually hitting the mark. So to do this, we need product portfolio management in the mix, not just product management of an individual product. It's about developing and implementing a comprehensive and profitable business strategy for your company's entire product line or product lines. And this discipline goes way beyond singular product management and day-to-day project management. It's really about understanding the goals and the benefits and the strategies that you're looking for, and also to transform the company so that we can address this stuff in a coordinated fashion. The purpose is to look at every product a company offers and see how well it meets the company goals, and knowing when we should, abandon something, when we should pursue other things, or when we should enhance the things that we're working on. It's an ongoing analysis of the performance of our current products as well as market trends for the development of the future things that we need to embark upon in order to stay relevant and vibrant. And it's where decisions are made about which product lines to expand, which to shrink, and what future opportunities should be pursued. So the strategic objectives of this is to save a company resources, put our resources on the right things that are going to drive the revenues that we're looking for. And that may differ based on the kind of company we are. If we're a well-established company with a diverse portfolio of products, they typically build their product portfolio strategy around expansion of the products that they have. Now, alternatively, a company might expand by, adapting their products to reach new audiences and modify them for different use cases of things that they're already doing. Or a company might also acquire other businesses to bring on new ideas, new products, and new sources of revenue. While a very small company who's emerging with fewer resources, they might focus inwardly to cut costs and increase efficiency. And with a smaller portfolio of products, each product holds more weight. But by focusing more, and it might cost us less and improve profit margins for where we are today as we try to grow into that larger company. So the benefits is to really constantly evaluate our product performance when we have portfolio view of all this. Increase our efficiencies by looking at what's working and what's not. Improve our competitive ranking by tracking market trends and evaluating against our existing and potential portfolios so that we meet the market trends. And then centralize our data so that we get better comprehensive analysis in a single source of data from our entire portfolio of products and product lines. And it also helps us determine and prepare for risks that we face, that we said that there are many out there in this particular marketplace. So most folks in this business find that product portfolio management can help us make decisions more in line with the reality of our product successes or lack thereof, and do things more realistically and more return on investment focused. Now, OnePlan provides a path to strategic portfolio management that can be applied to product development. For example, we talked about strategies. Our business leaders are going to devise strategies and strategic execution plans, and they may have objectives and key results, or they may have established certain value streams that we are going to align with within that organization. On the execution side, our product development or other types of project management are going to execute on the things, and hopefully we're aligned so that we're executing on things that are delivering value towards the strategic goals of our entire organization and of our leadership. And then we also have to factor in other dimensions. So depending on what kind of products we're developing, there is the overall enterprise architecture or business architecture that we have and our ability to deliver those things. For example, if we also are dependent on certain applications and our products are developed and tied to certain applications, we may have to modify, enhance, or modernize those things in order to succeed with the product developments that we have. And then overall product portfolio management to make sure that these other things are aligned with the products themselves. Now, OnePlan enables this by providing the ability to define your objectives and key results of your strategy, the ability to identify the enterprise architecture and business architecture elements that you have in your organization, and then also capture ideas and requests, provide a portal for anyone in your organization. And if you want to open it up to folks external to the organization, you can. But the idea is to open it up to anybody in your organization who wants to submit an idea or a request so that it can be vetted and possibly brought to bear to become a product development effort or some other type of initiative. And then once we have this pool of ideas and requests, we have our active portfolio that we're working, and we are going to have to interject into that these new ideas or the best ones of which we're going to embark and invest upon. And then we might have more traditional portfolio views, we might have more agile board views, and in product development, oftentimes roadmap views are things that are predominantly used and the one we're going to deliver these types of things and where they are in relation to key events. Now, we can't do any of this if we don't have the proper resources, and have overall resource capacity. Visibility is important to make sure that what we're committing to, we can deliver with the skill sets and the resources that we have. There's always the financial component. What's our budget? What's our revised forecast? What are we actually spending? And what's our projections on things like benefits and or revenue that are going to be generated by these new products? And with these rapidly changing market landscapes, and the changes in technologies, we have to adapt. So having good what-if scenario modeling is important in this mix. Now, we have to execute. Once we decide what we're going to work on, we have to do work plans. Yes, some people still do waterfall in this realm, and have waterfall work planning is something that's inherent into OnePlan, but also have agile planning tools so that we can do backlogs, sprints, and other types of agile planning in the mix right within OnePlan. Now, given that, we also have the ability to connect to existing planning tools and execution tools you might be working with, the more popular ones. On the waterfall side, we can connect with Microsoft Project, we can connect with Smartsheet and Rike and Monday.com. On the Agile side, we can connect with things like Jira and Azure DevOps, which are used out there very, very heavily. And on top of that, we can actually log and manage and assign issues, risks for that important risk management aspect, and change requests that come down the pike. And ultimately, the individual resource requirements on an individual product or project or initiative basis that rolls up into that capacity plan we talked about earlier on is important. Ability to also negotiate the resources you can get from the people that manage those resources in a more matrix type of environment. And then team members provide feedback so we know where we really stand and have everything that's put on their plate be able to have a my work area that can give status back to the product managers and the product portfolio managers. And if you have to report time for capitalization of labor and or chargebacks and or billing to external clients that you're doing this for, that needs to be part of the solution, and it is in OnePlan. And then all the analysis, whether they be individual status reports or dashboards on all aspects of this, or the visualizations on how all these things interrelate. We'll show you a little bit about that in the demonstration today. Ultimately, what we're delivering in products, services products can be products as well. Applications can be products as well. What we're trying to deliver and get the outcomes we're looking for is important. Now, OnePlan, with all the hype around AI, OnePlan actually has a practical, ready-to-use, embedded in the application AI assistant called Sophia GPT, and allows us to better analyze things, help us with initiating work, helps us identify risks or where things might be going off the rails, and also provide some alternatives for us and do some things that in an easier fashion so that we can put our human capabilities to more high value activities than just things like status and those types of things. The key here is to select the right work to do, meaning the right products, and then do the work right in a way that's efficient and effective in delivering. So Sophia GPT, just a little bit about that. For portfolio management, it is purpose-built for strategic portfolio and product portfolio management, meaning, it does leverage Microsoft's Azure OpenAI for its general knowledge and learning, but it has also been trained specifically on portfolio management, product management. Also leverages the data that you put into OnePlan regarding your planning and execution pieces such that it factors all of that into its response to your prompts. And it helps us with tasks like data entry, information retrieval, communication, estimation, anomaly detection, etc. And because we're using Azure OpenAI, it's in the Microsoft cloud, not like ChatGPT uses on the open internet. And it provides additional security, compliance, and protection that Microsoft infrastructure provides for all you Microsoft shops that are out there. Now, Sophia GPT is always on in OnePlan, meaning that if you look in the lower right-hand corner, it's always available wherever you are in OnePlan. And it provides you some sample prompts, but you can actually just innovate your own that you want to ask it for different things. And what it is, if you look at the now portion of this, where it's an AI-based assistant for strategic portfolio management, it's an inbuilt AI assistant that we ask it, give it prompts, and it gives us responses to those prompts. We're also working right now on moving to that next future generation of a fully automated mode where it can anticipate what we want or give us some alerts on things that we need to be aware of, and to kind of always be watching to help us and provide assistance where we may not even need assistance as required yet. And this goes in product development as it does for any department or part of the organization. But I would say this, as we talked about early on, coordination between these other areas like a PMO, like sales and marketing, like R&D, these are types of things that we have to coordinate with, and it's really built to allow us to have that collaborative experience that we talked about. That's a challenge and a need in this product development arena. Now, there's a lot of hype, but there's real practical things that we can do today with AI in this discipline. It can help us with strategic planning, it can help us with portfolio optimization, it can help us with work management and risk assessment, it can help us with resource allocation, investment forecasting, and other things today, but these are some of the primary ones that we see people using today. And I'll just give you an example real quick. A recorded version. Let's just say we were building a strategic plan for a product development organization, and we wanted to ask it, what are a list of viable objectives and key results for a product development department? And here I am in the portfolio area of the product, and let me ask it to provide a list of viable. And so it actually is giving me an objective of improved product functionality and performance with key results of reducing product failure, increased speed of performance, and also improve the product's user friendliness. Deliver new innovative products, and give some key results around that, boosting the efficiency of the development process, enhance customer engagement, and then advance the skills and capabilities of our team so that we can meet the needs of advancing technologies. So all pretty relevant things that we could start with as a basis for objectives and key results we put together for our organization, just as an example of how that might work.